Last time you were approaching the... Oh no, you landed on the Adari.
Yeah, we did.
And currently you're within the hangar.
Yep, one of the hangars that my boys have procured for us, so we don't have to pay a fee.
By the way, in case you wanted a nice up-closer view of the Adari, this is what it essentially looks like.
Whoa.
Probably open Roll20, huh?
So it's not
Yes.
it's not really a planet, it's like a giant
It's a giant
It's
ship,
a world
basically.
ship.
Yeah, it's known as a world ship. So, yes, you landed within a private hangar and are currently, well, making your way out. You've met with the zero-risk security guys that were there beforehand, apparently doing a job as they described before. And you are having a small little call come across your communication devices.
Okay. Do we see who it's from like before we answer?
Yes, it says the Benefactor.
Oh boy. This could only be good.
Prava's gonna wait for someone else to answer and then answer at the exact same time and talk over them.
Aiden's used to this kind of shit, so he's immediately gonna answer. He doesn't even check who it is before he answers. Yeah?
Hello?
As you do, you on the other side, you see Elabor. A small screen pops up and she's looking towards you. Greetings. I hope I did not catch you at an inopportune time.
No, perfect timing. We're just landing on the Adari now. It's good to see you.
Good. Our information was correct then. I do hope you enjoyed your time off.
I wouldn't really call it time off. We did another job, some freelance work. But if you've got a job for us, we're ready to come back to it.
Active. We appreciate this. But we do have several tasks for you to complete. Of course, not without reward. Are you prepared to take these tasks?
Depends on the tasks. Send them our way, we'll check them out.
She's a little bit confused by the conference call. But of course, she also politely waits for Prava to also talk as well.
I mean, the only reason Aiden piped up because he anticipated what Prava's gonna say, and he probably shouldn't, vouch for us before we even know what the job is.
No, look, Prava's naive, but he's not stupid. He's gonna ask what the job is before he makes any promises.
Yeah. Kuzon is eavesdropping.
Yeah, he's sitting there silently taking it all in.
I just want to say also that I do love Prava's entire thing. Like, he will make friends with anybody, but as soon as it's down to business, he's suddenly very professional.
He knows to keep something separate, Like, he thinks Elabor has very lovely keratin structures, but, business is business.
I understand. Right. Then, your first task. This may take you a bit longer due to the nature of the task. One of our teams intercepted a message which is, well, very interesting to our mutual employer. You are to find information on the starship Keleon.
Okay, last known sightings, how long has it been gone? What kind of ship is it?
Well, the Keleon was a revolutionary cruise ship. They employed VR technology, essentially allowing you to experience whatever your heart desired while taking breaks on vast alien worlds. It was owned by Ownway until the ship itself apparently, well, had a malfunction with its drift drives.
I was just gonna remember, wait. So it's a cruise ship with VR focus.
Correct.
Isn't that kind of like... Why would you do both?
The idea is you lock a bunch of assholes in a box, and even if you're traveling through a frozen hellscape of a planet, they can still be on a luxury cruise in the Pacific.
I think we're getting off topic.
Yes. As mentioned, it was owned by Ownway, or OW Corp for short. As you may have guessed, due to the loss of their huge investments, they're now bankrupt. And the loss of a ship happened near Absalom. When it jumped out into the drift, it was, well, never seen from again, until a beacon was discovered. Well, more of a message. It drifted back into known Pact World space recently. It was in no known location it was meant to go to.
I mean, stuff gets stuck in drifts all the time. You should have seen what we saw in there the other day. A giant mech in a field of snow.
Oh, interesting. Did you procure anything?
I got a brand new chair out of it, and Kuzon got something too, I think, but it's less important.
We got the mech's black box. From the look of the terrain, it seems to be the snowy area of free access. A piece of the land must have got chunked in there. We did manage to find one of the, let's say, a local wildlife. We outrun it though.
Interesting. Well, seems like you really have been keeping yourselves busy. I'm impressed. But as for the message, it was a standard distress, just meant to relay the position of the ship. However, when we went to the coordinates, the ship wasn't there.
Wait, the signal was sent, but the ship wasn't there?
Correct. The beacon, when sent from the ship, records the last known location and is sent back to known space. Once the coordinates are taken, they are, well, of course, fed into the ship, into the computers, and we can go there. But the ship wasn't there, and it was in a location, well, presumably, that we did not know about. So we have no idea where it is currently. We have a feeling that you could find out about it, however. Others are of course on the task, but you are one of the few that we contact directly for this task.
You mentioned some other job opportunities. Do you have anything else that's urgent?
Ah, of course. She's gonna bring up a piece of paper a moment and read off of it. A package will arrive to your ship within 4 days. You are to transport this package to Absalom when you are able.
Should
Yeah,
we be
we are
worried
urgent.
about scans or the authorities?
I would suspect so, to be honest. We do not want to know anybody who wants to get inside the package. We don't want them to discover, and, well, there's a few organizations on Absalom that may take interest if your cargo is scanned. While not illegal, questions would probably be asked.
Gotcha.
As mentioned, it will be here, and you are being solely trusted with this due to your excellent work of handling the package last time.
And is there any time limit on this job, or is it just whenever we're in the area?
No, there's no time limit. You may deliver the package whenever you desire.
Prava just kind of looks at Aiden, and he's just kind of like, oh, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't do that job then. Sounds simple enough.
It's the kind of work our ship was designed for.
That
Yeah,
is
we've got
true.
a little cubbies to
Oh,
store.
she did warn us that that package is probably gonna attract some attention. We might wanna wait for, it's just, Aiden opens up one of the maps. Everything keeps moving in the system, right? Let's wait for some day where our destination is gonna be closest to us, so we can make a short trip. The less time we spend with the package, the better, since it seems like it's gonna be a hot potato. The sooner we unload it without people knowing, the better.
Essentially, if you want to put that in game terms, that would be you doing a navigation check, by the way, just so we're clear. So, you'll be taking the task then?
Definitely the delivery job, but this other task seems kind of outside of our area expertise. We haven't really done any, like, search jobs before.
If
Yeah,
you wish, I do have some suggestions. Personally, of course, not from the Benefactor.
Yeah, I'm always happy to hear what you have to tell us.
I would suspect that something went wrong when inputting the automatic jump drives. If you are able to access the information on said jump drives, or even the coding, you would be able to obtain the reason why it probably went wrong, and maybe discover its course and drift jumps. As you mentioned, the company that owned it went bankrupt, so it's possible that their information is on the market as well, or somewhere.
Okay. I'd say that should be easy enough to figure out. They probably just had some crackpot pilot who made a simple error.
Does he look towards Aiden when he says that?
Aiden looks confused because despite his short time piloting, he's never made any mistakes.
Oh yeah, the front of your ship's still dented, by the way. I'm just making
Yeah, that was a great maneuver.
Yeah.
Totally
By the way,
Statement.
Kuzon does expect your guys to help him unfuck the front of the ship while we're docked here.
So, you'll be taken for task then.
What's the pay?
I think it's something that's within our abilities, but yeah, relevant question.
Well, of course you'll be, well, personally rewarded.
They're liquidated, right? They're basically selling all their stuff. We probably want to keep an eye out to see if they're liquidating like any schematics of the ship or like any what the specifications are, and I can use that information to figure out what it is that we're working with.
Okay, so it's only after this conversation that Thiveron comes out of his room from a very, very elongated conversation with his god. And he just comes out and says, we should do it.
That was quick.
Mysterious forces. Yeah, we accept.
I heard something about mysterious and investigations. This is all up in my grill.
Well, it's more he heard something about rewarded on a personal level. So he's interested to see what that would be.
Anyway, Thiveron, it's good that you're back. I have something for you. And I'm gonna take out a data pad with some information that my boys have gathered that he asked me for. And then I like put it out towards him, and I'm like, oh yeah, right. You know what? Maybe I'll read it to you later.
Could you activate the text-to-speech, please?
Aiden clicks that and gives him the little device. And I don't actually know what's on the device. Ashes, I'm assuming, gonna tell us what's on it.
I've already sent it to him in Discord.
Oh, you did?
And I sent it to you as well.
I'll presume like at some point, if Thiveron wants me to, I could add like where you just like can scan text and it converts it to like a plain format and then to written.
Yes, Kuzon, that would be very helpful. Normally, I've been traveling alone the past few years, and I didn't really need communication technology, but I find it very difficult to communicate these days.
Yeah, that's a problem with society nowadays, man. The more advanced we get, the less, personal everything is. We just lose touch with each other and stop socializing. Oh, you mean the fact that you're blind? Yeah, right.
That's kind of like Thiveron, hearing that kind of stoically, faces his face. I would say looking, but he's not looking. Like directly out of the viewing port on the bridge, and he just very calmly says, "We do live in a society."
Kuzon's like, and he goes like, "You guys have given me a lot to think about. Anyway, I'm gonna disappear in my shop for 6 hours."
Airboy is going to basically give a small bow before the communications cuts off.
All right. Well, thank you for your. Oh, she's gone. Okay. Goodbye.
I mean, we do kind of let conversations drift while we're in the middle of calls, don't we?
I was
It's
gonna
just
ask
standing
her
there for
if
a
she
good 10
wanted to have a girls' night out sometime.
Be careful with that one, Prava. Any person who you can't find any information about is definitely somebody you should be wary of.
Well, she's definitely lonely if nobody knows anything about her.
Kuzon says out loud, "Anybody who intentionally obscures information about themselves should be kept with it. Should be watched carefully."
Stare.
Yeah, see, Kuzon
I'm
gets
just
it.
imagining like a host Sheeran pickup line to be like, "So, you and your partner plan on having babies anytime?"
Cool. So just stuff to do in the future, but right now we're on Adari, and we want to focus on Adari.
That is a nice place.
So that's a question. How do like the hangars here work? Is it like owning land? Do you like buy a hangar and it's yours? Do you like rent it from like the central station ownership? Do you like?
Essentially, you can rent a hangar. Since I think Aiden, did you mention how you got the hangar?
Yep, I did tell them that a few of my boys did a job here, so we basically got free reign of this place as a favor.
Yeah. So in other words, the person who's renting this hangar lent it out to you guys as a favor.
I am going to. What was the name? The robot fella that introduced himself. I forget his name because I'm bad at remembering things.
Oh, but the giant dude who high-fived Ataika.
Yeah.
I believe it was
I don't think you mentioned it.
Johnny? No, actually I didn't. I didn't mention his name.
Okay. Well, Kuzon's literally gonna like point at. He's like gonna point at Taika, and then he's gonna point at that guy. It's like you two look strong.
I am strong. He flexes like metal creaks. Like,
Do you want to help me fix the front of my ship? Somebody, I won't mention names, tried to use their ship like a battering ram.
No, do mention names because they work for him, so like they have to clean up his mess.
Ah, of course. It was a certain Aiden Pendragon. I'm sure you're familiar.
Decided just to our ship right into an anomaly.
Correction, I rammed the other bastard into an anomaly.
so essentially, he gives you a nod. It's like, don't worry, BR09 will help you.
BR09?
Yes.
That's amazing. Thank you, bro.
Don't worry, bro. I'm part of a line of 10 BR0 units. As the production numbers get lower, get bigger.
Wait, and what was his number?
Pro 9.
9.
9. Oh, so he's
I think Kuzon's like whole I think Kuzon's whole thing is like the closest that he can ever pull off to flirting is asking for a robot schematics.
Well, that's like a really big leap. They'd be revealing all their vulnerabilities to you.
Exactly.
All their backdoor.
I'm not going to out of politeness, but I will admire. And we'll just do that gif where like Kuzon has his back turned looking at Bro 9 and Ataika's literally like a disgusted expression on his face.
My brother, BR01, is an industrial mining bot on Aiden. He's at least a bit size of your ship.
That's hot.
Yeah, he doesn't work for Aiden. Only I do.
Yeah.
The other brothers didn't follow me.
Sadly, we had to split them up, but it's better this way because he had the bad habit of giving his smaller brothers noogies, and sometimes he dent their heads.
Yeah, BR010 is tiny.
That's so funny.
Now, to be clear, tiny by your standards or by our standards as well?
Oh, I would say it's about your size. He like gestures towards Kuzon.
Oh, it is pretty tiny.
Hey,
I agree, it
Tiny's
is pretty
good.
small.
I'm the perfect size.
Hey, you're small, but you have a big heart.
Mind you, he is small but mighty.
I really don't. I think my heart is directly proportional to the size of my body.
If he was any bigger, I would have a heart attack.
Kuzon doesn't say that, but just immediately when you said that, no, his heart is proportional to his body. But yeah, I'll if he's willing to help me, I'll take advantage of his services and try to fix up the front of the ship.
Right then. So, business. Where's the nearest, we gotta turn in the Pirate Queen and, like, maybe turn in Aiden? Haven't decided yet.
Gotta check how much he's worth right now.
Yeah. It's like having stocks, you just gotta, like, cash in when it's at, like, the highest.
Bro 9,
There
keep
is
an
a
eye on the little lizard dude and the ship. I'll be back in a few hours.
Understood, boss. Me and my synthetic muscles can handle it.
Try not to flex him too hard. I don't think he can take it.
So, were you born with those, or are those aftermarket muscles?
You can feel if you want.
I'll probably reach out to touch his synthetic muscles.
They feel almost exactly like real muscle, but of course with almost a rubbly texture to it.
Prava is pretty damn impressed.
To be fair, you organics can also have such beautiful bodies, but most of you are a little skittish to replace parts.
I've been thinking about getting some work done myself, but I don't know. It feels like a really permanent decision to make.
Well, that is true. I have heard of people replacing their organic parts again. I mean, you have back-grown parts and the like. But it probably costs an arm and a leg.
Sharing parts don't grow very well. We got too many hard bits.
I imagine, like, as he says that, Kuzon was like, his arm had like turned into a drill, and he was removing a plate, and then he stops, like halfway through with his one mechanical arm. My arm got crushed by a fallen drill.
And now you
it's
have a
the
drill.
Yeah. Kuzon gets like a really intense look in its face, and it's like, I took its parts and made it my own.
Oh my god.
Like some sort of sick revenge against the drill.
I became the drill.
I became the drill that took
I'm
my
gonna make a
arm.
mental note not to fuck with Kuzon. Not to be fun too, but like, you know.
For that reason, Kuzon seems like one of the most dangerous people in this crew right now. Oh yeah, Aiden, you were talking about the bounties before. There is a console here if you wish to contact the authorities and hand in your bounties and the like if you really desire
Yeah,
to.
I'll go ahead that, and since I'm at it, I'll upload the dog tags from the dead pilot. You know,
Prava's gonna
give
head back
them
into
to
the
who it may
ship and
concern.
go say his goodbyes to the Pirate Queen.
The Pirate Queen is currently, of course, being guarded by a tiger who's just staring at her. Like,
Prava just
intensely.
kind of like walks past Ataika and is just like, there, buddy. Like, hey, so we're at Adari now. Unfortunately, I'd have to say your time on our ship is coming to a close. I've been very happy to have you here. You've been quite a sight to see in this lonely little patch of space.
It has been good to talk to you as well.
Yes. Well, if you ever want to talk again, this is my email address, and this is my blog. I don't know exactly what's going to happen to you from here. You haven't killed anyone, so I can't imagine you're going to be in jail for too long.
I also have ways. Probably give up my horde if they go light on me.
Yeah. Well, if you're ever looking for company or work or anything, I'd be happy to talk to you again. It's been a great time so far. Please feel free to contact me with anything. Heck, if you ever have a job for us in the future, and you can be on the other side of it, you know, can do work for you instead of catching you. Might be fun.
Well, you were worthy adversaries for a pirate queen. I will remember your names. I'm sure if I get into legitimate business, I may have a job for you one time or another.
Yeah, and hey, if you have a hard time finding work, I've seen your piloting skills. You know, if Aiden doesn't work out, I can definitely contact you. Maybe you know, have his job.
You're too kind. She's like, you can tell, but so you're having like a beak-like mouth. She is sort of smiling at that.
Prava kind of just like offers his hand to her, and it's like, all right, well, time to escort you out of here.
She has one of her hands, puts it in yours, and gets up, and she's putting away the separate cards. One Aiden's yours, and you know, just like puts them away for later. Before she's guided outside. By this point, the Idari security has come along, dressed in full security uniforms. All four of their arms on separate weapons. It's like, so, where's the dangerous criminal that you have captured?
That'd be this lovely lady right here.
I see. They're going to take out what appears to be a scanner to hold it up to her for a moment. Understood. They're going to take out some more credit chits as they're going through data for a moment. The others are doing paperwork for a second.
Does anyone else want to say goodbye to our guest? She was with us for a short time, but it was a good time.
Bye. Attention shifts back to what he's doing.
Probably.
BR Zero walks over. He goes, I did not know you, but I wish you good luck.
This guy's such a bro.
As he does that, Aiden's gonna point to Bro9 and say to the Pirate Queen, he's also part of the unit.
So Thiveron just kind of like puts his arm across his chest and bows a bit. Says, thank you, my lady, for sharing your story with me. It will live on.
She gives a small nod, and thank you for not throwing me out into space.
Thiveron will just silently nod.
I got to say, respectful foes. And At that point, Aiden, you're handed a small credit sheet and a small receipt as well.
Receipt. Oh yeah, we're doing official work. Receipts, right?
You're like, oh shit, I haven't actually done proper work in a while.
Oh fuck, does this mean I have to pay taxes? God damn it.
Tax has also been deducted. Don't worry. They do that for you.
Now we have to file a tax return, though.
Yeah. You know, but you may get money back.
So we got
Just
2k
Oh
total.
god, Prava's like 5 years behind in all his taxes. He's fucked if that's the case.
Do you have to pay taxes in this Robo?
You're in a meteor somewhere. Are you like a sovereign nation? Are you?
Dear Paizo, please add to next edition of this book a section entirely on tax returns.
Yes, every planet needs a tax return, even ones in the vast.
So yeah, we basically got 2000 credits for that, right?
Yes.
So we've got 5 people, that's 400 credits each. Maths!
By the way, Higgins is also coming out. He's going, I'll also get going. I'll make sure to report to you on what we find. I'll also take these. He's holding like the dog tags and stuff you got from the, the station security that died, and I'll give them in. Thank you again for rescuing me.
Sure thing.
Yeah, no problem. Didn't really get to talk with you much, but it was a pleasure having you aboard the Perseverance. If you ever have any work in the future, we're always willing to expand our business.
Of course. I'll make sure to keep in contact if you need anything. Here, he's like rummaging around nervously a bit, and he pulls out a card and hands it to you, Aiden, since you're the closest. And he's like, and he turns to Prava and like, thank you for being so nice.
I'm gonna take a quick glance at it and then offer the card to Prava.
Prava looks super excited, and he reads the card in full detail.
Prava is just so fucking adorable.
Essentially, it's his name, his contact information, the fact that he works for a society called Outlook Industries and stuff like that.
Well, Prava considers this card proof of him having a new friend. This is like his physical bit of evidence to be like, look, I know this guy.
So yeah, after uploading the dead pilot's dog tags online for people to pick up, Aiden's gonna take another chunk of our silver reserve and he's gonna stuff it in his pocket. Alright then, I'll be gone for a few hours. You guys try and stay out of trouble, right? If something pops up, make sure to holler at me. I'll be there as fast as I can.
You mean your rest of your silver reserve?
Damn, we have so little silver. Damn, okay.
You only had one bulk of it.
That's fair, okay.
Where are you heading? You got business on the Dari, Aiden?
Yep, gotta take care of a few small things and deal with some potential issues. Don't worry, shouldn't be too dangerous. I'll be fine.
Are you sure you don't want someone to come with? You might need help.
Aiden scratches his head. Well, I wouldn't mind the company. Honestly, it's a few pretty boring jobs if you feel like tagging along.
Well, I've never seen the station before. It'd be nice to have someone around who can show me, what it's like around here.
Yeah, alright then. Sure thing. Let's see. Aiden takes out the map. I was thinking of going to the merchant district since I want to find an artisan to help me with a little thing. So why don't we swing by there, see if they've got some cool things we can buy now that we've got some cash on us. After that, maybe we can swing by and see how the local food is like.
Ah, sounds good to me.
Thiveron's going to step forward and say, Aiden, this information that you give me, I would like to investigate it while we are here. So I will accompany you.
Well, personally, I haven't looked at it myself. Figured, privacy and all that, even though my boys had to take a look at it. If you require some help, getting around and whatnot, I don't mind giving you a hand. Like I said, I've got a few personal things to do. It wouldn't take too long, so we can take a look around the station if what you're looking for is here. What exactly are you looking for? You did mention some person. Is he on the Adari?
There is a suspicious sale that I need to investigate.
Sure thing, we can take a look around if you want to come with us.
The party's going exploring.
Hey Kuzon, you sure you want to hang out here and just work on the ship? Seems kind of boring. You sure you don't want to explore? Might as well, now or ever,
guess here's my question: how much of an involved repair job is fixing up the ship?
It's a small process to start fixing up the ship, but of course, like Aiden's boys are here, they can slowly do it. So by the time you get back after an entire day, they probably have a point done.
We'll say I like basically tell them what to do before I leave to like speed up the process a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, roll engineering for me. 22, that's pass for 15 DC plus 5. Yeah, it will take around about 16 hours to complete. So essentially they can handle like the work while you're away.
I just like you just see he like taps Ataika. It's like Ataika knows what to do, and then he turns to Bro and barks a bunch of orders at him, and then leaves.
Aiden notices Kuzon barking orders at one of his boys, and Aiden looks at him disapprovingly. Aiden will remember that. It's his job. It's his job to boss them around.
BR0 just takes it in stride and goes, "Don't worry, I'll handle this with Ataika."
At any rate, let's go hit the marketplace. We'll start from there, since it's pretty much in the center of the ship.
Right, I suppose you're all sticking together for the time being, so one of you can put your character down. If Aiden's leading away, you can put your token down to mark where you are. As you head into the freight elevator, Higgins is there as well. He waited for you since you're all heading down anyway. And as you head down to what's known as the hub, it's this long, spherical, elevator, throughout the entire ship. You can just see people going up and down and past you. And when you reach Hub Station 3, where the closest way you want to go, you start to descend down with a load of others. And as you reach there, it's a hustling, bustling place full of, well, of course, there's the natives of Yadari there with their forearms, elongated heads, but there are just people from all over, and mainly they're all heading towards the Outland markets.
Yeah, the whole way down the elevator, Prava was like spinning in circles, trying to get every single thing. Just like, what's that over there? What's that over there?
Yes,
Oh.
and as you were descending it, this is probably the scene that you would have seen.
I don't think Kuzon would have seen so many plants before.
Oh,
Yeah, we've only been on Akaton and Absalom, so yeah, this is...
Essentially, this is the kind of view that you guys are getting as you're going down the elevator.
Wow.
The world is very
gorgeous.
spherical, curving
like
around.
I was gonna say it's like a Gundam colony.
Yeah, essentially. Essentially, you're coming down this large cylinder, and then stopping here, and then coming down one of these. And of course, as you come down the hub, you can see that for security are scanning people as they go by, and stuff they're trying to bring in.
I guess my question is, because Kuzon probably would have thought of this, but DJ didn't think of this, is is there like certain things, like would we have anything that we definitely should have left on the ship?
What's in your pockets?
Prava's carrying the dagger and the orb, but that's all he's carrying.
Kuzon has a gun.
My beliefs.
By the way, as we're traveling through the tube, Aiden's gonna look up some of the latest information about the proving pits. I want to see what's going on currently there. Oh boy.
Let me check your inventories.
Prava, like this, he doesn't intend to distract the security guards, but he's gonna make like super friendly, super involved conversation with the security guards, just to kind of like lower their wariness to the.
So you're like being very friendly. It's like, we wouldn't have anything on us. I'm sure you don't have to search that hard.
I mean, that's my intention as a player, but Prava's intention, he's sitting there like, oh my god, this place is incredible. Like, please, guards, tell me about this amazing technology that let this amazing world ship be possible. Like, how do your people do this? How do you maintain it?
By the way, as that's happening, Aiden's gonna lean towards Kuzon and say, are you sure you found him on an asteroid? Seeing how excited he is about everything and how social he is, you'd think that he'd be, in the center of things, not somewhere in the middle of space by himself.
You should have seen You should have seen the reaction of the other miners' faces when we hatched him out of that asteroid, and the first thing he wanted to do was hug somebody.
I imagine that like Kuzon was the first person he saw, and he like immediately picked him up and gave him like one of those like spinning hugs,
Yeah, and then like Kuzon was like in like one of those anti-radiation suits to like prevent himself from getting contaminated. So you're just like hugging this. You're just like the first thing that you see is this guy wearing like a thick suit to protect himself from your radiation. You're like, hugs!
New friend. I haven't seen another person in years.
All right, just got weapons. All you have to do is register which ones belong to you, and then you can be on your way.
Yeah, so just like so we just like, hey, this is my weapon. They scan my serial number or whatever, so they know
Yeah.
it's mine. Like,
Essentially, it's just like put in serial. So it's like put in serial number, like you're going to a self-checkout thing. Just put in your like thumbprint or something or ID card, and then you can be on your way.
Prava manifests his like his solar mote weapon, and he's like, "What about? Do I have to register this?"
He taps on the thing, and he's like, "Don't worry, we have a special thing for this." And it's like on the screen, he just taps a small app for Solar, and it's like, "All right, put in your ID card."
Sure, and he complies.
No. If you're here to visit to Solar Temple, please make sure that you call ahead. They're currently in the middle of intense training.
Temple? What kind of temple?
The Solaran Temple.
Oh,
It's one of
there's
the bigger
other
ones.
Solarians here?
Yes, is that not why you're here?
Thiveron looks at you and he telepathically tells you that I told you this is, like he says, I had told you this is where you would be able to learn more about your powers.
Oh, that was he. Apologies. I'm very adverse to using my powers, so information about them kind of falls right out of my head. So this is where, huh? I
is
see.
that your signal that you're doing mind sockets?
Sure.
Thiveron is more offended that somebody would forget a story that he told them. It's like, how dare you forget something I told you?
Yeah, I'll definitely have to go see them. I've never met another Solarian before. I don't know how to feel. Am I excited? Am I scared?
If you wish to know the name, since you seem new here,
Please, by all means.
if you wish to know, since you seem new, it's called the Products Monastery.
Okay, is that on this map? Oh, I see.
Yes,
I see it
it's over
there.
there.
Yeah. Prava just kind of looks at everyone. He's like, we definitely have to go there. Other than Cole, I've never met someone else with powers like mine.
Kuzon just kind of gives a light smile. It's like, all right, we'll go check out the what's-its.
Is there any other information why you're here? This guy seems rather receptive. As for others that he passed by, he just made them move along. But he seems much more receptive towards you guys, probably from Prava's friendly demeanor.
I did want to get some information on the proving pits, what's going on there recently.
Thiveron, take a culture check on the proving pits, because Thiveron's actually spent a good chunk of his life on the Adari.
Yes, you may. You would probably just outright know, wouldn't you, if you lived most of your life on here?
Yeah.
It's a cultural point. Despite its out-of-the-way appearance, it is mainly, well, as I say, it's not exactly a fighting pit. It's more where, well, Kavians and their security and the like go there to train themselves, better themselves, and outsiders that go there to fight in the proving pits are paid well due to, well, the Kavians can literally learn from them and their outside combat techniques.
So I will just turn to Aiden and relay that information.
Nice. I wish there was more places like that around the area. Definitely gotta swing by there when I've got the chance.
Currently, there's only recruits there right now due to the assembly of the Dorinate.
So do you guys have any local specialties you want to recommend? Where's the best place to get a bite to eat? Where's the best sites? Where's the best towns?
I can tell you're definitely new to the Adari. If you truly wish to know, then the Culinarium would probably be the best place to get a bite to eat. They are renowned throughout the Pact Worlds for their food. For instance, even geneticists and gourmet chefs go there in order to study exactly how to best grow the best ingredients and cook the best dishes. Every 4 months they hold a grand banquet of their achievements. Hardly anybody can get a ticket, to be honest.
Man, this
I
place
think-
makes Absalom look like shit.
I think Thiveron's gonna become me in real life in this session, where I'm just like fucking tourists.
It's like, yes, it's so nice. It's just like, fucking- it's like if you're looking for more, well, out of the way, there is the Outlander Bar, which is more suited to your kind. They serve Absalom dishes. After all, not all food is to, well, outsiders' liking.
Prava's literally vibrating. Like everything about this place excites him. Everything he's heard has been nothing but new experiences.
So much so that he forgot that he is surrounded by many people.
Yeah, listen, when he goes to bed, that'll all catch up to him. But for now, it's pure excitement.
At any
Alright,
rate,
alright.
before we decide
Order 'em
on where we're gonna head out after this, let's hit the market and grab a bite to eat. We'll worry about that after lunch.
Agreed.
So yes, you make your way to the Outland markets, and as you make your way there, you do notice something, well, rather shocking. There's a lot of Aidens, like a lot of Aidens, and by that I mean there's a lot of humans. Compared to the outside, where there are differing races all around, and mainly Carthians guarding and going about their business, this place is basically human central.
Right. First things first, I'm gonna start looking for a metal worker, somebody that can help me custom craft some things. A blacksmith, anything like that. Somebody that does custom orders.
Aiden, you do see a Carthian among the many humans working what appears to be a forge, an open air forge next to one of the flowing rivers.
I'm gonna take a look at a few of his wares, see if he's good at his job, you know, make sure at least he makes quality products.
You can see statues, blades, bayonets. It seems like he's more into the physical. He doesn't seem to have any ranged weaponry or anything. Then again, he also seems to be doing rather well since his shelves are, well, some products are clearly missing and sold.
I'm gonna walk up to the blacksmith. I'm not sure if he calls himself a blacksmith, but excuse me, do you have a moment?
He's going to stop for a moment, pick up the what appears to be a metal pole and put it inside some water for a moment. As it hisses, he turns around. Ah, welcome. He moves up towards you.
So,
It's rather large for a Carthian.
So I had a little side project I needed some help with. I was hoping that maybe you can lend me your skills. I'm gonna put the chunk of silver on the table. I wanna craft this into a specific flower for somebody. Think you can help me out?
Many who come, especially humans, always ask for the same thing. I'm surprised. You can see him like pick up the silver, inspecting it, puts down a small monocle to be able to enhance and scan it for a second. Not bad silver. So, what do you want done with it?
You know what Vonen Rose is? It's one of those flowers that blooms in volcanoes.
Blooms and volcanoes. One second, I'm gonna do a culture check. Oh shit, he critted. Okay, he's like, you mean the Vulcan rose?
Yep, that's the one.
I see. Yes, I know it rather well. Such a beautiful flower can survive in such intense heats as well. Interesting.
I'm surprised you know about it. Usually not many people outside of Fraxus know about it.
Yes, I hear a lot. People coming in and out. I once made a blade for a dragon, in fact.
Looks like I got lucky bumping into you. So, you think you can take this task?
I can take this task. It's really something different than making swords for tourists.
Yeah, let me guess. A lot of people come looking for those 1,000-folded blades, right?
Traditional blades made of Dari are highly valued. We take care of our weapon. I do not know about folding, but our techniques are rather, well, unique.
I take it that gets boring after a while doing the same thing.
Yes, making the same duplicate sword just because somebody saw the coolest version of it, so to speak.
Aiden turns towards Thiveron even though I don't know where he is. Fucking tourists.
Yeah, he's probably-
Thiveron nods, but like with more intensity than he normally silently nods.
Meanwhile, Prava is literally running up and down like this row of market stalls while you're bitching about tourists, just like snapping pictures of everything. And
just probably being the epitome of tourist bug.
I imagine like you see Kuzon like not really and you'd be trying to barter for like whatever item that they have that interests them, regardless if there's a price tag attached to it or not.
Yeah. I
Just
love
looking at
marketplaces like that.
gadgets.
They're a lot of fun. So yeah, how much time would you need to get the flour ready?
If I remember how intricate it is, I would say a day and a half, maybe a day if I rush it.
Aiden thinks about it. I'm willing to pay extra, so I'd prefer a rush job.
All right, for an extra, let's see. Since this is such a good item, I would say only 150.
Alright then, we have a deal. Aiden takes out his credit chip so he can pay it in advance.
He takes your credit chip with one hand, but he's offering out another one of his hands to shake yours as he's actually paying at the same time.
After I give him the credit chip, I'm gonna shake his hand. Pleasure doing business with you. I'll look forward to the results.
And I look forward to working on it. The rose, such a interesting thing. Not able to survive in cold climates. Interesting choice. He's gonna put away silver. Do not worry, I will make sure to make you something worthy. Especially since you provided the material as well.
I'm going to give him my information so he can contact me once the product is ready.
He gives a nod, takes your information. Alright, here's your receipt. Come back to me when you're needed.
Sure thing, thanks. And I'm gonna head out.
He seems to have forgotten almost totally about the sword in the barrel by this point. You can see him, he's almost immediately getting to work searching up the rose on like the net. Just like
Looks like that's gonna be his most fun job today, so... Shit.
Wait, Aiden, could you roll perception?
Oh, just a sec.
You can see that some people are looking outright shocked after you left that store.
Aiden just scratches his head and looks around, wondering why they're looking like that, but he then just shrugs it off and decides to, you know, forget about it.
You see, like, they just look like, huh?
Something tells me I should probably know who that blacksmith is. Is he famous?
Well, who knows? You may have a reputation around the market, you may be famous, who knows?
Yeah, I'll probably hear his name if he's that important eventually. Like, huh, weird people, what are they staring at? Oh well.
Yeah, I wonder why they're staring at me. Weird. Timon, I believe it's your turn next.
So yeah, go to this specific market section, looking for this Eshra.
And you go into basically one of these pods, essentially, and you go around the small alleyways until you get to the shop. Is anybody following him, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
yeah, Prava heard sketchy local pawn shop, and he's
And he's just
100%.
all over
Sketchy
that
local
shit.
pawn
He's like,
shop, that's where the
yeah.
best deals are.
I mean, Kuzon's into that.
Who doesn't like a deal? Especially if it's a little sketchy, that's the best part.
Exactly. Right, so essentially, you can see the locked door before you. Well, it's not locked, it's closed. It basically says, no customers today.
Well, luckily
Can
for
I take a
us...
perception to see if I can like hear or smell anybody inside the shop?
You can.
By the way, as you're doing that, Aiden turns towards Thiveron and says, well, luckily, we're not customers.
Yikes.
And I start knocking on the door.
With Aiden knocking on a door, your sense of hearing and smell are just completely out the window because all you hear is boom, 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 boom.
I imagine I just get like a giant whiff of whatever Aiden's cologne is, and it just like overwhelms my sense of smell.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Jesus.
To be fair, when you said pawn shop, I thought you said porn shop.
I saw his pawn shop. Most baffle porn.
Probably would have been less down for that one, but
Yeah, I think that probably would have like worried everybody if Thiveron of all people just led us the whole party to some back alley porn shop. This is where I must
questionable team building.
Right, anyway, he goes, there may be someone there. Depends on who's asking.
I'm gonna look towards Thiveron since it's his decision whether he wants to, share who he is or not.
Thiveron is just going to say this is an attempt to improve his disposition toward us with a diplomacy check. Maybe potential customers when your shop opens up. We have high need of things that your pawn shop might be able to provide, and in exchange for some information, we may be able to work something out.
Roll diplomacy. You get a drop a DC a bit for that. You can hear him rummaging behind, and he goes, "If you promise to sign a waiver that you must buy something if you enter."
Deal.
Thiveron just kind of looks toward everybody.
Like Aiden immediately answers, deal. Aiden just shrugs. It's okay, we'll just buy the cheapest thing there. How expensive can it be?
Yeah, anyone like broken guitars or dirty guns?
This is where we find out that he sells like golden statues or something.
Aiden, suddenly an arm pops out and flipping nudges you a bit in the chest as he flipping basically points towards a piece of paper in your face, like, yeah.
I'm gonna take off my futuristic holo pen and sign that.
He drags it back in, it rips a bit on the way, and he's like, alright. He puts away paper and you hear, and the sign just straight up into the ceiling. Come in. And you hear rustling as he goes behind the small desk that he has.
I gotta say, being a mercenary, I've dealt with a lot of extravagant people, but this guy's up there.
Everyone who runs a pawn shop's like this. I wouldn't put too much into it.
As you go on in, you do see that it's just a cavalcade of different items. Though it's weirdly organized, it seems like a maze, but the items are all on their own shelves, they're displayed, their bargaining prices are marked.
Now you got me curious, what kind of items does this guy have?
Like, immediately figured out their system.
Yeah, it's like a very strange system of ordering, but it's like pretty easy to pick up now and again.
Listen, Prava's been in a lot of pawn shops in his day, alright? Like, some pawn shops order by value, some order by, like, type of object, some order by, like,
Yeah, exactly. Here it seems to be very much by type, here's the war section, here's the artifact section. You have as you go in, you see vases and all sorts of art pieces in front of you. Then down behind the shop, Eshra, you can see that there's a load of weaponry and stuff that is barely cleaned. And Eshra himself is actually a very, very short guy.
Dude, I want to check out the artifact section.
Well, that's what I just said, like art and stuff. It's not artifact, it's in magical artifacts.
Okay. I'm like, what the fuck? So you mentioned he's a short guy?
Yes, he's very short. He doesn't seem to have a beard or anything, so probably not a dwarf. He's just very short. He has half of his face has this mechanical to it. Doesn't seem like a prosthetic, more like a computer of some kind.
Yeah, Kuzon's kind of looks at him with a curious glance, and he just points at the computer. He's like, how much for the eye?
But I need this to do my job. You do I know you? He's pointing towards you, Thiveron.
Well, that would make this easier if you did already. Take a look at this. I'm looking for whoever made these purchases, and I'll show him the data pad with the paper trail of receipts to the fable.
He's gonna look down towards it, read them off, and he's like, "Yeah, I know you. I think I've met you just once, or I met your master, of course. What's this about?"
Ears perk up. Well, you see, I'm looking for that man. His name is Algarian. I was wondering if you, being the most recent member of this paper trail regarding his ship, had seen him recently.
Yeah, he came back here all the time. He hasn't been here in a long time, though, but he used to come here all the time for supplies for his missions.
So, He's going to point to the the sale from a month ago, and he's just going to say, "Well, who did you sell this to?" And he's going to point to the sale that was literally just a month ago.
Yeah, your master came in here, demanding things like climbing equipment and like food and the like. Of course, I could provide anything, so he got it from me. I don't know where you got these receipts from. Oh,
Did he mention where he was going? He left years ago and told nobody.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But he's came by here more than a few times. Maybe because I'm so out of the way. He said he was finally found something. I don't know what, but I was happy for him. He got something. But as for where he was heading, I don't know. But, oh, I do know something. He told me he was going back to his room after he met with me. You know, back in the temple.
Like, Thiveron just kind of nods and says, "Thank you. You've been very helpful." And then he walks over to wherever the instruments in his shop are, and he'll pick up a flute and bring it back and says, "I'll buy this."
Ah, thank you. That'll be about 10 credits. But, there is something. He did sell something to me. It may be of interest.
Thiveron will just kind of like cock his head.
1 second. Don't steal anything while I'm down here. He's like getting under the desk. He's like, yes, this. No, wait. Aha! And he comes up and he places down what appears to be like some sort of. It has a base of metal, but it has a crystalline function throughout the entire bit, like shards of crystals placed in random places.
Wait, you said it's a box of just shards of metal?
No, it's like it has a circular base, but from the middle of it, it seems like shards of crystal is like protruding from it. Think of it like almost a crystal-like bush.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not all. When he sold it to me, he told me that it makes the most beautiful sound, and I found out a while after that it does this. He twists the base once, twice, and then 3 times, and when he lets it go, it starts making this beautiful crystalline-like music, as if you have a wet finger and you're slowly putting around a glass. Like, I don't know where he got it from, but he said it was on the path, so to speak. I don't know what that means.
It is all right. Would you mind selling that to me as well?
Oh, if you want it, yes. It's basically a music box. I sell it for you for, well, with that, we call the total 50 credits. How's that?
Thiveron nods, and then he will transfer the 60 total credits for this crystal and the flute.
No, he said like both of them together, so 50 for both.
Oh, okay.
He's like, okay, here you go. Would you like a bag with that?
The box should be fine.
Understood. I hope you find your master. He was a good customer.
Thiveron nods, says, "Thank you for your help. I've gone, I think, 5 years now without a single lead. You've been very helpful."
I'm glad I could help. Still, he's been so secretive. I do hope you find him. He may have got himself into trouble.
That sounds like Algarian, yes.
Now, does anybody else wish to buy anything?
I want to see your gadgets.
Gadgets. Over here, he gestures to the left of him with a shelf full of like little bits and pieces of discarded tech and the like. What are you looking for? I may be able to help.
There's an audio recording device that's like basically increases your perception bonus in a certain direction, and it can record like 12 hours of audio. And I also want a grappler.
Yes, the kids love those. 1 second. Here, I have. He puts on what it looks so shiny, so like a brand new grappling hook. And he goes, "I also have that one on the shelf if you want it." And you can see that one, the one he's pointing to, is a little bit broken. It's little bit, well, it's a little tattered.
What are the prices on these bad boys? I think a grappling hook in the book, like a new one, is like price as is.
Hmm. So essentially, he's like, well, this one I would sell for around about 700 or so base price. You understand? It's brand new. One on the shelf, 600. It doesn't really work, but you can always take it and get repaired for about 50 credits.
Yeah, repairing isn't a problem. What's up?
Well, Prava's just gonna step in, and I'm gonna use like my bargaining stuff. I was gonna be like, well, here, yeah, the work 50 credits to fix it. That's just the parts. We gotta also incorporate in the labor and the time put into it. I think you can do a little bit better than that for us.
Roll me diplomacy. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Diplomacy, boy.
Yeah.
500, and that's it.
Yeah.
Enjoy. And he's like putting the brand new grappler away with a fancy shiny cable, and he's like putting it away.
Do you know anyone around here who sells more mystical objects? Someone who's interested in the
I have this Tarot deck.
No, I mean actual functional magical objects, not.
Oh, you're talking about that. There is Isha. You could go to number 15.
I've been exploring the mystical side lately. I'd like to get some.
So you mentioned something about the tarot deck?
Oh yes, this one. He
How
like
much?
moves it over. Well, the cards are even metal, as you can see, stainless. He like taps on the thing. He's like ding ding, and it actually sticks in the thing. Bladed as well. I wonder why the bladed deck. He puts it in
Sold
40 credits.
20,
40,
25,
35.
40. And now for my hand.
Fine. He like shakes your hand. He's like, you can tell that he's actually not actually invested in these tarot cards at fucking all. And you can see him smirking as he hands them over and takes your money. Thank you.
Aiden doesn't care. Those cards are great for distractions and for killing people.
If you joker somebody, I will give you extra XP.
I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna use one of those tarot cards to kill someone.
Tarot card for boss. This is
I'm
your tarot
literally.
for today.
Oh, what a shame. Looks like you put death, and then I'm gonna fucking behead him with that fucking card.
Oh god. So yes, everybody decided to rummage around in the pawn shop.
Well,
Prava, did you want to find anything?
as all these exchanges are going on, Thiveron is using his detect magic to see if these crystals are magical in any sort.
Ah, go ahead. Their basically magic item is the crystal thing itself, and it is of a divine origin. So essentially, of course, the purpose of the item is to play music, soothing music, in fact. When played, it would grant a +1 circumstance bonus. Oh, cool. So yeah, it gives +1 to things like culture. What are you guys going to be doing now that you've gone shopping? Did you want to go to some tourist spots and annoy Thiveron some more?
Well, that does sound pretty fun. I really want to check out the proving pits, not gonna lie.
Thiveron is assuming that he's gonna go to the Temple of Talavet after Aiden's done at the proving pits, just because he knows the proving pits are a lot closer.
So essentially, what are you going to take? What kind of route? I suppose you're going to basically go through the assembly and head on down to the proving pits, and go back up.
I mean, we can go. Well, what about can we go from the proving pits to the Windcatcher archives, or is that just open desert, or what's?
Oh, so essentially you want to kind of maybe go through this tunnel, go through these,
Yeah.
and come out here, and then straight to Windcatcher,
Go down to the proving pits, and then go to the Windcatcher, and then to the monastery.
and then to the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where-
we'll just get an all-around trip, and after we get tired from the entire day of exploring, we can go to the lakes and chillax and maybe fish.
All right, let me see. How long is that going to take?
An hour and a half.
We need a ground vehicle so
Right,
bad.
20 minutes. Yeah, you need to be able to drive around. So essentially, that would take you around about half an hour, 20 minutes, depending on how many people are around. Of course, you're free to split up if you really desire to.
I think we mapped out a good route so we can see pretty much everything everybody wants to see.
Everyone's just mumbling as you go along. I suspect, go fucking tourists.
He's loosening up now that they're out of the touristy areas, if that makes sense.
The outland markets are
Yeah.
very tourist.
Yeah, like as they get closer to the fighting pits, like he's becoming more at home.
Aiden
He kind of
notes.
considers this world ship to be more of his home than Absalom Station ever was.
Aiden notes knowingly because he just assumes the reason Thiveron is acting like this is yes, a place where we get to fight and prove ourselves in combat. I understand, Thiveron. Of course, you'd feel better in a place like this. I understand, man. we're in unison here. I get you, man.
He has shown that he can be quite violent.
Yeah. I mean, he literally shouts people into submission in the middle of combat. That's pretty violent.
Yeah.
As you're nearing pitch, you can hear some cheers. There are some people from outside the Dari watching, some aliens alike. You can definitely see, like, well, people seem to be very enjoying themselves, though there's much less of a crowd than you would expect. And you can see there's kind of amateurish, like, fighting going on in the pits today. What seems to be, like, the guy overseeing things has his forearms crossed. He's looking over the pit, completely shirtless, of course, as all proper fighters should be. Still with his mask on, of course, though.
I'm gonna look towards... I'm assuming it's kind of like a quote-unquote Colosseum deal, because there's probably, you know, spectator seats and whatnot.
Yes.
I'm gonna look towards the others and say, so, what do you guys feel like doing?
Are you there to just watch the fights, or are you planning on trying to beat somebody up?
As you say that, Aiden cracks his knuckles. I
Look,
might be looking for a little action.
do they let me use my guns?
I mean...
It seems mainly it's melee combat.
Thiveron says the Kasatha, although they do use ranged combat when necessary, they pride themselves on their melee prowess.
Yeah, have fun, Aiden. I'm gonna go and order some popcorn.
So,
There you go.
Thiveron, since you've been here more than me, do you know if, you know, a few extra... you know, friendly bets on the site, are they frowned upon? Is that a thing?
The Kasatha tend to fight for honor and the pride of defeating a strong opponent. I don't think you will find much of that outside of any illegal enterprises.
Yeah, sadly, honor and pride don't put food on the table, but I gotcha. Aiden looks a little disappointed.
They
that he can
do
put some side
pay,
bets.
however, they pay prize money for winning fights, though.
Oh, now you're speaking my language, and I pat him on the back. So, you wanna come with? Or are you fine with watching?
Like, Thiveron's kind of like taken aback. He's never fought in the proving pits before.
Come on, it will be a good exercise. Maybe we'll learn a few things, and you know, work up a sweat. Good for the heart, good for the body. I'm gonna assume that Prava is pretty taken in with the sights and is probably gonna wanna spectate rather than take part in the festivities.
For literally the first time since we landed on this ship, Prava looks really bored.
Oh wow.
Chilling, like, fighting, cool, not really interested. Just chill and wait for this to be over.
I'm gonna walk over with Thiveron to the dude that seems to be large and in charge without the shirt on. Excuse me. A moment, please.
What is it you need?
We're looking up to, you know, work up a sweat.
Training equipment's over there.
Not
my
exactly what
friend-
we had in mind.
And Thiveron steps forward and says, my friend would like to arrange.
Oh, I see. We're proving pits open to everybody. I'm just the senior fighter here right now. I come from a redoubt of Damiotosh.
Thiveron's gonna nudge Aiden. I don't think it would be best for us to take him on.
Why not? If he's strong, all the more reason to put ourselves against him. After all, it's not to the death.
Well, it wouldn't be very honorable if it was 2 against 1.
That is true. There is not enough of you.
Thiveron laughs. He's like,
Aiden doesn't
so are there
look
any
amused
other
when he
fighters
said
that we could take on?
Today, most of security is on patrol due to the assembly. Today is mainly recruits, the lower tier fighters.
What's going on at the assembly?
They're discussing many, well, interesting things, I suppose you could put it. Unsure if outsiders would know, but essentially it's all about recolonizing. If we should stay here or colonize a new world, such as Akiton.
Just to spite this guy, assuming that Thiveron's a tourist, he's going to go on like a 10-minute political rant of the consequences of colonizing other planets with the Kasathan culture and how it could like upset the balance of power in the packed worlds. And
Yeah, his own traditions of he very much believes that they should settle Akitan or some world. They shouldn't stay
And
on
at
the
this
ship.
point,
He's
you
very
realize
much-
that Aiden has the same expression as Prava, and now he's incredibly bored.
humans have such short names anyway.
You two done flapping your gums? We're gonna do this or what?
Well, pick out some recruits and you may fight.
What? Getting cold feet? You look like you've got some time.
Are you sure you wish to challenge me?
Aiden puts his glass away. Let's go.
Well,
Thiveron is going to step back. He knows better than to fight somebody from the Temple of Demeritosh. Like, well, and on top of that, like, Thiveron knows he's not necessarily that great of a fighter. And he knows he's probably not going to be able to get away with using his magic. So he's not in the business of getting socked around for no good reason.
Kuzon's just like silently just going fight.
so how do you want this to play out? Do you actually want to fight him, or?
I mean, we can do a few quick rolls so we don't, waste everybody's time and, get on with it.
You guys can fight it. We're not look like we're in line to have like a fight this session. So if you want to have a battle, then by all means.
Kuzon is on Team Aiden, like out of politeness, but he is kind of he does. He's sitting next to Thiveron, but like he's like, "Go, Aiden! He's fucking paced. Aiden, go! Woo!"
Like, Thiveron will say in your mind that he also does not expect this to go well for Aiden, but Aiden should be able to learn something from this fight. Aiden should be able to...
Are you sure you wish to do this? As he like preps his forearms.
Aiden just cracks his knuckles and glares at him. Come on, show me what you got.
So be it. However, pardon me if I do not hold back. And you see him holding his stance for a moment, and then he readies himself. It's your turn.
By readying himself, is he getting ready to counter me or something? Is he giving me the go-ahead? Like, can I read what he's
Essentially, he looks like he's ready to take whatever you can throw at him.
doing? Oh, that pisses Aiden even more. He's just going in. I'm not gonna use any tricks, I'm just gonna go for some standard CQC. I wanna gouge out his strength. Oh, and since I'm not going, I'm actually gonna do a full attack. Let's throw some fists at him, see what shakes loose. 17.
Okay. So as you throw your attacks, you see one arm comes up, deflects one, the other grabs your fist and pushes it away. He's like, not bad. Yeah, what is it?
My EAC is 15, my KAC is 16.
Yeah, even with -4. So essentially, as you're going in, you're trying to duck and roll. You can see his fist come up, strike you in the midsection. The other one comes down with a chop down towards your neck. And you can see him, he expects you to be out cold as he deals.
By the way, he did remove his shirt, but his gloves are still on, just saying.
So yeah, he deals exactly 20 damage. You can see him turning around as if he thought you would be down. Well, he's about to turn around.
As he does, Aiden's immediately gonna roll to his blind side, and I'm gonna use a trick attack. So that's gonna be with a +4, 41.
Ooh.
After hearing that hit, Thiveron just kind of like winces, like, ooh.
Oh yeah, that one hurt. Aiden's entire body shook.
Kuzon's eyes are lighting up.
So what do you do with your trick attack?
So as soon as he starts turning around, I roll to his blind side and I use my knee to check the back of his knee, basically upset his balance and make him fall to one knee. And once he's down to one knee, I'm gonna grapple him from behind and put him in a chokehold.
And in game mechanics, what are you using?
I'm basically gonna attack him and I get bonuses. So
Okay.
since my attack hit, I automatically hit. So that's just
5 damage.
not my full damage from my trick
Okay.
attack. I also add this, so I hit him for 11.
Oh, nice. You can see it. You can see him like as you grab onto his neck, he holds on, like preventing you from choking him out with one of his arms. He's like, huh. Seems like I have been pleasantly underestimating you.
Yeah, that's a mistake you won't get a chance to repeat.
You can see him essentially holding onto your arm as he attempts to stand up. So you can see as he lifts you up, like with just his strength, he lifts you off of his neck, lets go, and attempts a sudden haymaker towards your midsection again, same place he hit, but just about misses you.
So as he tries to do that, I immediately take advantage of the opportunity that he's lifting me up, and I basically put my knee at his throat. Bam! So as I knee him and try to wiggle out of his grasp, and I start falling down, I grab one of his arms and try to put it into a standing armbar. So that's another 8 damage.
8 damage, okay. It's like, you've done well.
By the way, as he keeps saying stuff like that, you see Aiden get more and more frustrated.
As you have him in an armbar, he suddenly rolls to the side. You still holding onto his arm. He twists, grabs your arm, brings you down to the ground, and lifts his elbow and drives it into his midsection. 23 damage.
Exactly 23?
Yep.
Oh, Aiden gets winded, like that one caught him pretty bad. He's immediately down on the ground. He got squished by that one.
That was rather exciting.
Is he letting down his guard?
Yeah, he's like lifting his arm because he sees like essentially you went out.
As he turns around, Aiden slowly begins getting up behind him.
I am gonna say that he is flat-footed if you attempt to do anything.
Yep. As soon as his back is turned, Aiden starts getting back up with 1 HP.
So essentially, what everybody saw was him elbowing you. Dust suddenly echoes from you from the sheer impact of the attack. And he's like, good. Turns around, and all you see is Aiden slowly rising up.
How big is this boy? I'm assuming he's probably twice my size, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm gonna do another one of
twice.
my trick attacks. I'm assuming that's gonna hit him again.
Yep.
I'm going to shoulder block one of his knees as hard as I can to try and level him to my side, and I'm just gonna start unloading haymakers in his face. So that's another 11 damage.
Almost max damage, just like wham, 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 wham.
Yeah, I
wham.
basically put my fists up in a boxing stance once he's down on one knee, and I start going haymaker after haymaker in his face.
So after catching him off like flat-footed, you just start wailing on him. Like he actually let his guard down, not like the first time.
As I start punching, I scream between punches, I told you not to look away.
So essentially, as you're rolling, you can tell he's like, you are much tougher than a human I've faced so far. Most are too scared, and he uses a palm to bat away your last thing before finally bringing it into his head and headbutting you as a trick attack. Just
Please tell me that doesn't kill you.
As he headbutts me, I have just enough resolve to do this again! So as he headbutts me, you see that Aiden's feet turn into jelly. He's about to keel over, and on the last moment before his body buckles, he just stubbornly puts one of his legs backwards to stabilize himself. And as he does, he lets out a primal scream, he grabs him by the shoulders and returns the headbutt. Does 19 hit?
Nope.
Nope. So he tries to headbutt him, but he doesn't know where he is. That headbutt blinded him for a moment. He's probably got a concussion, so he completely fucking fails to headbutt him.
Thiveron is covering his eyes like he can't watch, as if he could watch.
He actually is genuinely impressed.
At this point, Aiden doesn't have the strength to talk back. He basically, as he grabbed him and tried to headbutt him instead, what ends up happening is he falls into him. Like he's out of gas.
Kuzon's very noisily slurping a soda that he got from one of the people in the concession stand.
And with this, essentially he's gonna non-lethal, basically just a small chop at your neck,
Like
just to make sure.
As he goes in for the chop, Aiden just barely squirts out. Lucky shot. And he's out. That's it, he's done.
I mean, that wasn't the thing is, despite all of the despite Kuzon's like kind of being a dick, it's actually impressed.
You can tell that the other guy is impressed as well, because he's actually picks up Aiden and starts carrying him over to the medical treatment area, where you can see that he's actually being treated with very high tech like machines. Like he's being treated with both medicine and magical means. So he's going to be back on his feet quite quickly.
I was gonna say Thiveron just like immediately runs over to Aiden and begins mystically healing him.
The guy's standing over him with a bloody like bit cut under his eye, there's bruise and stuff. He's like, I did underestimate him. He had every right to say as he did. He is an actual warrior. I disrespected him, as I shouldn't have.
You're not the biggest thing that tore into him.
Well, he fights fiercely. Aiden, you should be able to get up.
I'm assuming my head is still spinning, but my vision is slowly starting to get focused, and Thiveron's there, so I'm like, what happened? Did I win?
Thiveron's just kind of like, yeah, sure, buddy. You're not dead. That's a win.
You got judo chopped in the neck and passed out.
Should have known he cheated. There's no other way he could have beaten me. I could have taken him.
He did acknowledge you as a strong opponent.
Damn right.
He called you a warrior.
You can see him getting trained as well.
Excuse me for a second. And Aiden leans to the side. There we go, better. Never should have eaten. Lunch slows you down.
Let's see here. Well, first, Thiveron is gonna like put a hand on your shoulder, and you're gonna feel like this rush of energy as he gives up one of his resolve points to give you one back.
Aiden starts rolling his shoulders, and he perks up. Huh. I don't know what you're doing, but man, I feel better already.
Okay, and you're gonna get 20 hit points back.
Whoa, that's some healing touch. With that, yeah, you're basically full up now, since you're taking a short rest for your stamina and other medical practices, and Thiveron's, of course, healing. You're gonna be healed right up.
Thanks, Thiveron, I feel better already. Ugh.
Well, you did put on quite a show. You deserve at least this if you're not getting prize money.
By the way, you can see him, the other guy, come up here, and he tosses a credit chip towards you.
Aiden looks confused. I lost. What's this for?
All outsiders get a payment. You made me learn a few lessons, never to underestimate any opponent.
Damn right.
Besides, it's only 500 credits. Pitiful, and not even the biggest payout here, what you should have been paid out. However, come to the redoubt of Dematosh when you wish to learn more.
Yeah, and you better watch your back, because I'm definitely coming back. I'll be looking for you.
Well, I've had my amusement here. It's time to return to the temple. And he gives you a small wave before he starts heading out. But some of the other people are looking a little like, oh my god, did he just get invited to train there? What the fuck? How?
Oh, god, I think I broke a few bones. It's okay, I'll walk it off. Oh, jeez. Aiden puts on his clothes a bit gingerly since he's still a little bit sore. Okay.
I gotta say, Aiden, like I've watched my fair share of hand-to-hand combat back on Akiton, and I gotta say, you did pretty good. Good hustle.
Thanks, I guess, but I couldn't help but wonder what would have happened if we were in real combat. After all, he didn't use any weapons, and neither did I, so, you know.
I mean, in real combat, you just would have probably shot him from 200 yards away with the rifle.
Yeah, fair point. CQC ain't really useful if you're 200 meters away, but, you know. It was nice to see what it's like to fight somebody with 4 hands. I've never actually done that in actual combat before. When I see opponents like that, usually I take the safe approach and ignore them or fight them from afar, so it was good to see how tough they are. And damn, let me tell you, he packs a punch.
Thiveron is just gonna look at you sternly and just say, Aiden,
Yeah?
if you choose to train at the Redoubt of Demoritash, you may disagree with some of their methods. They tend to be quite violent.
I mean,
They believe in victory at any cost in battle.
I mean, you know, I'm a mercenary and I make my living on the battlefield. It's not about, you know, fighting in a correct or wrong way or honor or anything out there. It's a battle of survival, so I don't mind their ideology as long as they can teach me something.
I'm not worried about your ideology. I'm worried about you saying something and getting hurt, because I noticed that you likely will not fit in with their worship of Demoritash.
Don't worry about it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? And he laughs it off.
He's never said anything insensitive in the presence of people he doesn't understand.
Yeah, see? Kuzon gets it. It's all in good fun. Don't worry, Thiveron, you're worried too much.
I will try not to, but nevertheless, it is a great honor to be invited to train there. And I would recommend that you take him up on that.
So wait, is that temple like a big deal or something?
Yes, it's the primary place of worship of Demoritash in basically the entire Pact Worlds.
Yeah, maybe we should give it a look-see once we're done with all the other errands. Speaking of which, you guys are about ready to leave? I think I've had my share of fun for today.